Hey guys, so now that we're done looking just at general polygons, let's go into some more specific examples. So for this one, we're going to be looking at parallelograms. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral, which has 4 sides is what that means, in which both pairs of sides are parallel, and instead of writing out parallel, I'm going to put the 2 lines up and down. Okay, so you have a quadrilateral, 4 sides, and these sides are parallel, and these sides are parallel to one another. Okay, so if we have one of these, we have some important properties that come with them. So the opposite sides are congruent or the same. Okay, so let me draw a better picture over here to show you what I'm talking about. Again, I am not very good at drawing these, but it is fine. You can see what I'm talking about. So opposite sides are congruent. So this one and this one's the same. This one and this one's the same. Okay? We have that opposite angles are congruent. So opposite angles are congruent, or again, the same. So this angle is going to be the same as that angle, and this angle is going to be the same as that angle. Okay? Now we know that consecutive angles, or angles that come one right after another, are supplementary. I'm just going to write supplementary, and that means they add to 180 if you add them together. Okay, so like if I'll color them. So like this one, and sorry, I can't write. I'm having some issues with the tablet today for some reason. This one and this one are supplementary. So if you add those two together, they add to 180. So the consecutive ones, the ones that are right next to each other, not opposite each other. Okay. And then lastly, we have the diagonals that are created here bisect each other. So they cut each other perfectly in half. So I'm going to erase this blue. Okay. If we draw these, we connect the corners like that. They cut them in half. So this is the same as this, and this is the same as this. I'm running out of things to do. Okay? So those are the things that come with parallelograms. So each quadrilateral here is a parallelogram. We're going to look at the different measures. Okay? So we know, I'm going to go ahead and mark. This one's going to be the same as this one. This one's going to be the same as this one. This angle is going to be the same as this angle. This angle is going to be the same as this angle. Okay? Angles that are not the same are going to add to 180. That's all we need to know. So AD over here is got 2 tick marks here. What do you got? Same as this one, which is 8. DC here is going to be the same as the one across from it. It's 15. Okay. Measure of angle A has 2 tick marks. It's opposite this one. We don't know what that one is either, so we know that it's not the same as this one, so it's going to be 180 minus this one. So we'll do 180 minus this 68, which is going to give us 112 degrees. So A is going to be 112 degrees, and I'll go ahead and write it here. Okay? So angle B only has 1 tick mark, so it's going to be the same as this one over here, the one opposite it, like that. So it's going to be 68 degrees. And angle C has 2, it's going to be the same as this one opposite it, 112 degrees. Okay? So I want you to try these ones on your own, the next one on your own. Okay? The ones across from each other are the same. The angles that are not the same as one another, that are not straight across from one another, add to 180. So go and pause and try number 2 on your own. Okay? So now let's look at number 3. Here we have some other things looking at. So we got these 2 are the same. We have these 2 are the same. Okay? And now we also have that the diagonals bisect each other, so each of these are the same. It tells us down here that RT is 30, so the whole diagonal this way is 30. So each one of these is going to be 15, so half of 30. Okay, so UT is going to be the same as the one up here, 27. Okay. Sorry about that. ST, this one's going to be the same as that one, so 18. VS, so from V to S, it's going to be the same as from U to V, so it's 7. Then from V to T, we said is 15, because it's half from R to T. Okay? Now let's look at number 4. Let's look at the angles. The angles get a little confusing, especially with the diagonals. So because of the diagonals, the main thing I want you to know, if you have one of the ones on the inside with a diagonal, if you follow the diagonal to the other corner and you go across it, those are the same. So that one's 71, so this one's 71. So this one, we follow the diagonal over to D, and we go across it. This one is also 21. Okay? That's the main thing to know. So then we can go ahead and know, it tells us that FED, so this whole thing here is 134. Okay? So DEC is what it's asking for first. So we're going to be looking for this one. Okay? So you know that the whole thing's 134. But this one's 71, so we'll do 134 minus 71, and that is going to give us 63, so this one's going to be 63 degrees. Okay, this one over here is going to be the same thing, because if you take that one, you go follow the diagonal and go across it, that's going to be that one. Okay, so now if we're looking at CDE, we're looking at the entire angle over here. Okay, we know that that angle and the entire angle down here are going to be supplementary. So we have this angle D plus angle E equals 180. We don't know what angle D is here. That's what we're looking for. Angle E is 134. It's set up here. Is equal to 180. So if we subtract 134, we're going to get this angle D is going to be 46 degrees. Okay? So this whole thing right here is 46 degrees. Okay? Now we need ECD. So we're going to be looking at this one. We've written it as 71 degrees up here. Then DFE. We don't have that one written down. But we do know that the one over here is going to be the same as the one over here, the whole thing. We said that this one was 46 degrees. So if the whole thing is 46 degrees, and we have that 21 degrees is already taken up, that is going to give us 25 degrees. Okay, the angles get very confusing. Just try and make sure you keep them separated from one another. I would suggest color coding it. Makes it quite a bit easier. Okay, I'm going to try not to give you ones that have where you have to write and try and figure out the sides and the angles on the same thing. If you have one like this, I would suggest to draw another picture of it. Label it the same way. Okay? That way you can do one of them sides, one of them's angles. Okay? I'm going to do the sides on the one I drew. So XY is 15. WX is 22. WT is 10. Okay? And that's all the sides we get. Okay? So, we know that this one's going to be the same as this one. And this one's going to be the same as this one. That's going to be the same as that. Okay? So, fast for ZW. ZW is this one. It's going to be the same as this one. 15. ZY. That one's going to be the same as that one. 22. Okay? From T to X, we know that the entire from Z to X is 32. Half of 32 is 16. So each of these is going to be 16. Okay? That's 22, sorry, you can't read it. And then WY, from W to Y, we have 10, and then another 10, so the whole thing's going to be 20. Okay? So again, I would suggest doing the sides on the one that you drew for sure, Let's go ahead and look at the angles now. And I am going to show you how I personally would color code it because it makes it so much easier. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and go through and I'm going to mark the ones that are the same. So that one, that angle is going to be the same if you follow the diagonal and go across it. Is that one. Okay? We'll use a different color for the other one. Okay? That one, you follow the diagonal and cross it. That's going to be the same as this one. Okay? And then we also need a color for the entire angle because both of those two are going to be the same. Alright, we're going to use yellow for this one. Okay. This angle, you go follow the diagonal and cross it. That's going to be the same as that one. Okay. Pick a different color for that one. We'll do like a dark green. And make sure we can keep them separate. Okay. That one, follow the diagonal and cross it. It's going to be the same as this one. And then again, we need a color for just the entire across. I will use a purple. It's going to be the same as that one. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and label them. So, WZY. WZY is going to be the entire one over here. So, it's going to be purple. I'm going to go and do it like that. 62 degrees. Okay? WZY, it's going to be this entire angle. Okay. WXT. WXT is going to be this dark green one over here. So I'll do this dark green one. WXT is 27 degrees. Okay, so that one's 27 degrees. And then ZWT. ZWT is going to be this light blue one over here. Is 77 degrees is what it says. Okay? Now that you have this, you know that these are going to be the same, so 62 and 62. We know the 77 is going to be the same. Okay, we know the 27, the two green ones are going to be the same. Okay, now let's go through and try and figure out the rest of them. So, angle TZY is what I asked for. TZY. So it's going to be this green one over here. We know that's 27 degrees. Okay. XYZ. XYZ is going to be the entire thing over here. So we are looking at the orangey red one here. Okay. We do not have that one written down on either side. But we know that the entire angles, so this 62 and this one right here, are going to add to 180. So we can do, sorry you guys, I'm having some serious issues with the tablet today. My hand keeps hitting stuff. So we're going to do this 180 minus the 62 degrees in order to get this red one. So whenever we do that, we are going to end up getting 118 degrees. So this one's going to be 118 degrees. We'll go ahead and write that down. Okay, so, okay, and you don't have to use the colors over here. That's not as important. XWT. XWT is this light green one. We don't have that written in either one of them, but we see that the whole thing's 118. So we do the 118 minus 77 in order to get the green one, and that one is going to give us 41 degrees. So these lime green ones, or these, yeah, the lime green ones here are each 41 degrees. So this one's going to be 41 degrees. XYT, lastly. XYT is going to be this bright blue one. I'll go ahead and use the color to make it a little same. 77 degrees. So again, I personally would definitely suggest color coding it. If you have a tablet to work on like I do, you can open it with Squid and do that. Take screenshots of it. If you're doing it on your computer, try and do it color coded. I'm sure you can change the color on Cami or whatever you're using. If you're doing it on paper. If you're doing it in class, I have many markers, colored pencils, plenty of different things, crayons that you could use. If you're at home, please try and use some colors. I really promise it helps quite a bit for you can see the difference. So much easier than just marking them with little angle marks where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 on some of them. It makes it so much easier if they're just color coded. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and try this. I want you to try number 6 on your own. Okay, so you should have tried number 6 on your own. Let's go to the back of this page. Okay, so I'm going to switch to black again. So this is, we're solving for x. We have to remember, I am so sorry about that, you guys, for real. Okay, so these ones are the same and these ones are the same. Since they're the same, you can set an equal sign between them. So we have 9x minus 25 equals 5x plus 7. Okay.
Something went wrong. Please try again.
Interesting. We'll add 25 to the other side. Okay, that'll leave us with 9x on this side. We'll still have the 5x on this side, but we'll have 32 left over here. And we'll move the 5x to the other side, giving us 4x equals 32. If we divide by 4, it's going to give us the x is 8. Since it just says to solve for x, that's all we got to do. So just know the sides are the equal, like that. Sorry, the sides across from each other are equal. Same with this one. I want you to go ahead and try this one. Okay, so you're going to put an equal sign, blank, blank, fill in the blanks with those two. Once you're done solving for x, you're going to take that, and since it says to find yz, instead of just stopping at x, you know that yz is 19 times whatever you got for x minus 31, and whatever you got for that is your answer. Okay? Number 9. If TV is 74, so the whole thing's 74, so if we half it, we know that half of 74 is 37, so each of these are 37. And we know that WV here is also 4x plus 1. Solve for x. So we know that these two are going to be the same because they're the two halves of the diagonal. So we'll have this 37 equals 4x plus 1. Okay? So now, if we subtract 1, we'll get 36 equals 4x. And then we can just go ahead and divide by, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing dividing by x. You're dividing by 4. So it equals 4x. We divide by 4 on both sides. That is going to give us that x is equal to 9. Okay. There we go. So now, if it gives you that NS, here is this 2x plus 7, and SQ, so the other half is this 5x minus 23, you know that these two are going to be equal to each other. So once you're done with that, you're going to get x equals something, solve there, but then it's asking for NQ instead of just x. So from N to Q, it's going to be both of these lengths added together, so you can add the two together, or you can double either of them since they're the same. I'm going to go ahead and double the 2x plus 7. So if you fill in your x there, you should get an answer of 54. Okay? So go ahead and solve for x and do that. This one, opposite angles are the same. So again, you're just going to fill in the blanks. Those two are equal to each other. Okay? They're opposite one another. Once you solve for x there, it's asking, for angle B. We know that angle B is going to be 180 minus either A or C. We'll do angle A. So we'll do 180 minus 6 times whatever you got for x, minus 15. And that is going to give you your answer for that one. So solve for x and plug it in there. These angles are not equal to each other because they're not directly across. So Q and S will be the same, and P and R will be the same. So we know that they add to 180. So with the parallelograms, either there's an equal sign in between them, or you add them and equal 180. Go ahead and solve for these, and then solve for angle R after that. You know that angle R is the same as angle P. So once you get down and solve for x equals whatever, you're going to just plug that in right here. 3 times x plus 5, put in your x, and that's going to be your answer. Okay, so I'm just setting those ones up. This one I will actually solve, and then you will do number 14 on your own. Okay, so KLH, so this entire thing here, I'm actually going to do this color-coded because, again, makes it a lot easier. KLH, the whole thing, is 134 degrees. Okay? That's all it tells us. We're going to solve for x. Okay? So we know that if we need this one over here, is going to be, the whole thing's going to be 180 minus this 134 degrees. Okay. So 180 minus 134 is going to give us 46 degrees. Okay. So this whole thing's 46 degrees. We also know that if we look at this 25 one, okay, if we go down the diagonal and across, that's going to be the same as that one. Okay? So now we have the one that's marked here. I'm going to go ahead and do it with the teal, or not teal, the light blue, sorry. It says 4x plus 9 here. It's the second angle here. This 4x plus 9 plus the orange one we have here. This light orange one. Sorry, that's a red, bright red. This light orange one we have here is going to add to give us this teal one that we have already. Okay? So the teal one's 46. So the entire angle is 46, like that one. Okay? We know that the light orange one here is the same as this one over here, because it's also light orange, is 25. Then we know this light blue one that I've got circled here is 4x plus 9. Okay? So if we solve for x now, we can add the 9 and the 25 together to give us 4x plus 9 plus 25, 34 equals 46. So if we subtract 34 from that, gives us 4x equals 12. Divide by 4, and give us that x is equal to 3. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and do the color coding on this one to show you number 14, but I want you to do the math, okay? So I'll do this one right here. I'm going to circle this to make sure we know it's the same. Go across the diagonal, or down the diagonal across, so these two are the same. Okay? And we're going to do the same thing with this other one. So this one right here is going to be down the diagonal and across, the same as this one. Okay? And it tells us the ABC, so the entire angle over here, I'll go ahead and use purple for that one. So the entire angle is 115 degrees. So now I want you to go ahead and try those. Once you solve for x, make sure after that you solve for angle ADB. Okay? So go ahead and take your time and try that one on your own. If you guys have any issues with any of these, let me know, okay? You guys are going to have practice problems to work on these next week. I think, once again, those are going to be on a Google form. So, again, make sure you only type in the number. But let me know if you guys have any problems with any of these or any questions, and you guys have a great day.